I think every situation is so different you can't judge it. It's like Ryan Leaf. Who would have known that Ryan Leaf was going to turn out to be Ryan Leaf? That's why whenever you draft somebody, instead of using a vet, which if you look at I think that's why I like Gruden. Like, there hasn't been any conversation about the Raiders trading up for a rookie quarterback. There's only been conversation about the Raiders getting a veteran quarterback. And the Chargers, too. You're not hearing them really move. You're talking about a veteran quarterback. And I think nowadays, especially with how the league is and how the uncertainty of whether or not players are going to pan out, especially in the world that we live in where there's a lot of money off the field to be had if you have any notoriety at all. I think you're going to see a lot of teams potentially operate in free agency a lot more than the draft for some positions. And I think it's just because you know exactly what you're getting almost. But with these college kids, you have no idea. Joe Burrow could be the next Peyton Manning. You have no idea, Tyler. Like, literally, nobody has any clue what Joe Burrow is going to be in the NFL. But I think if you look at his story, I think if you look at his grit, there's little tiny determining factors that say his mentality is going to be different than those that stink before him. And I would assume that is all leading to why people think he's the number one pick. This morning in Indianapolis, the combine has started, which it is every single year. Jim Irsay talked about that in his presser yesterday. A little tradition, brother. You know, combine's always here. Now, his dad did drive a team from Baltimore to Indianapolis overnight, but I think Jim Irsay has operated in a much different manner than his father has. I think Indianapolis is a perfect host for the combine. I think every NFL team that comes here loves this place. I think that Yahoo Sports guy is a buffoon, obviously, who is talking out of his ass or out of pocket about it. Indianapolis is a good place. But this week, the Tights Olympics begins. The first thing was the QB measurables. And there is an analytic here that could draw some wait a minute, especially in Cincinnati, which is a bad weather place in the AFC North that has a lot of windy stadiums. Joe Burrow's height, 6'3 and a half. Not bad, 6'3 and a half. 6'3.5, I guess. Weight, 221. Good weight, okay? I was 221 at 5'10 at one point. I'm now 260 at 6'1". And his hand is only 9 inches in comparison to Tua Tagovailoa. Hand was 9 7/8. Air Bears, 10 inches. Eason, I don't even know who that is, 9.5. Hurts, 9 3/4. Okay? So Joe Burrow has the smallest hand amongst the top 5 quarterbacks. Is that something that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to say, you know what? Let's trade this pick to the Carolina Panthers. Let them deal with whether or not his tiny little hands are going to be able to throw an NFL ball in bad weather places, or is this going to be a factor that they don't even worry about? I would assume the latter. Let's lock in Joe Burrow to the Bengals, but boy, if they trade away that pick, they are setting themselves up for a hilarious teardown by every human in the media.